Yo guys, what's up? So today is Thursday, which means it is Update Thursday on Old School RuneScape, and today we have an update titled Barbarian Assault Ranged Rework. So there are some reworks to the ranged section of Barbarian Assault, but there are some other nerfs to recent content that has been added to the game, and there's also an amazing shortcut that has been requested for years that has finally been added, which is finally in the game, obviously. So we're going to talk about a bunch of those things and go over today's update. Don't forget to drop a like and comment on the video if you enjoyed these videos, and don't forget to check out yesterday's video, which was an update on RuneScape Mobile, where I talked a lot about the upcoming RuneScape Mobile app. I will leave that as a link in the description, and let's get right to it. The first thing we have is an update to Adamant and Rune Dragons. They said they've been taking a look at all the drops that have been coming into the game, and they've decided that having superior dragon bones on the drop table, even as a chance of a drop, is too overpowered, and that they're going to remove the superior dragon bones from the Adamant and Rune Dragons drop table completely. So there is no chance to get superior dragon bones anymore from Rune or Adamant dragons, and I believe now the only place you can get them is actually Vorkath. I think Vorkath is going to be the only monster that actually drops superior dragon bones, which is pretty crazy. I actually luckily still have my Rune Dragons drop table when I killed 1,000 of them a couple of weeks ago, and if we just look at the prices of the two, I managed to get 325 superior dragon bones during my 1,000 kills there, which added up to about 3.7 mil. Now that 3.7 mil is going to turn in to now 756,000 because dragon bones are so much cheaper. So this will not necessarily, completely ruin Rune Dragons, but it is going to bring down the GP per hour probably by a couple 100k. I was getting about 1.4 million GP per hour at Rune Dragons, and this change will probably drop it down to 1.1 to 1.2 mil an hour, so still very viable, but it does drop down quite a bit. Curious to see what you guys think of this. Good or bad idea? Obviously, Jagex thinks it's a good idea since they took them out of the drop table completely, so we have to trust their judgment, I guess, but it's interesting to see that the only place to get these now, I believe, are Vorkath. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Volcanic Mine on Fossil Island had a change as well. I know not many of you guys probably do Volcanic Mine because it isn't that popular, but pretty much what people were doing is they were bringing their alts there and then giving all the XP at the end to their main. It made for really high XP rates at Volcanic Mine. So now they pretty much change it so the boulder at the end will take more damage if less people are contributing to chipping away from the rock, and the intention is pretty much to promote everybody working together to mine the rock in the final few stages of the mine, as opposed to letting one person get all the rewards at the end. So that's been changed a bit, sort of prevent the high XP that people are getting with alts there, because you know old school in 2018, man, altscape. For all of you Barbasol lovers, which I know is very few of you, even though it's a very popular minigame just because of the amazing rewards it has. There was a change obviously this week, since it was the title of this week's update. They did actually fix the ranged issues that were happening at Barbasol. They fixed an issue where the blowpipe was being abused because you could simply change the ammunition slot to contain the type of arrow requested, and when they fixed that, it led to inconsistencies where other ranged weapons like throwing knives, darts, and chinchompas could abuse the same method. Then they had to remove those as well, and it pretty much led to range being completely useless there. But now they've added 4 new types of arrows to pretty much bring back, I guess, ranged at Barbasol. These 4 arrows are bullet arrows, field arrows, blunt arrows, and barbed arrows. They're going to replace the current bronze to myth arrows that are dispensed into the game following all the same rules as the arrows, and they have the following stats: plus 46 range attack bonus and plus 125 range strength bonus. The arrows are now color coordinated as well to help the attacker, and then to further aid in the experience of playing Barbasol, they are now increasing the amount of arrows you can take from the item machine in there from 50 to 1,000. I would say go try it out for yourself, but there's really no reason to go and try it out for yourself if you don't need to be there. So that's what the change was. So the Observatory Shortcut has been talked about for quite some time. If you guys didn't know, there's a quest called the Observatory Quest where you have to run through like an underground dungeon up to the observatory, talk to some guy, and the run there is really annoying because it's a bit random. There's also a clue score you can get that happens to be in the observatory, and every time you get that clue, you have to rerun through the dungeon. Well, they finally added a grapple there, so you don't have to rerun through the dungeon again. There is that broken bridge there that people wanted rebuilt so you could run across it to the observatory, but they said that it's not possible with the whole mapping and redesigning of the area. It just wouldn't be possible. So instead of just saying we're not even going to add it, they said we're just going to add a grapple to just add it to the game at this point. The requirements for the shortcut are very low: 23 agility, 24 ranged, and 28 strength, as well as the completion of the observatory quest. And after you grapple the shortcut, it actually remains in place for you to use freely. So probably won't take you guys that long to get done, so you might as well get it done. A couple of the items that came out with Dragon Slayer 2 have been buffed as well. One of those being the Dragon Bow necklace, which originally had a plus 6 prayer bonus, now has a plus 12 12 prayer bonus, and the prayer drain effect also has now been removed, instead being replaced with a delay of 9 seconds until its prayer restore effect occurs after switching. And the Dragonfire Award's melee defenses have been increased by 10 and the magic defense by 6. Super anti-fire potions will now last 3 minutes up from 2. This change should see their usability increase in places they are most useful, such as Vorkath. There are also now extended super anti-fire potions which require a super anti-fire potion and a lava scale shard after you complete Dragon Slayer 2. This process requires 98 Herblore and offers 40 Herblore experience per dose converted, which, wow, that's really high. The Dragon Hunter crossbow has finally been buffed. It now has finally seen an update to it. It's now much more effective against dragons, providing an accuracy and damage bonus against dragons of 30%, up from 10%. So it now should be much more viable against dragons. The Dragon Plate Body, Dragon Kite Shield, and Necklace of Anguish now all have new ornament kits that have been added to the Master Clue loot drop table. The Dragon Boots ornament kit has also been added to the Hard Clue loot table. And that's pretty much it for this week's update. We have the another news section as well. I know my friend Kempke will be happy about the fact that Crystalia now assigns Chaos Druid Wilderness Slayer assignments, but I think that's pretty much the biggest thing there. Anyways, guys, thank you all for watching. Hope to see you next time. Have a good one, and peace.
Wow.